Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Behind a cold front, cooler and drier air for your Thursday, but some changes this weekend before a very cold air mass arrives to start next week. I'll let you know we could see wind chills drop into the single digits.
Nurse charged, accused of sexually assaulting at least 2 patients at UNC Rex Hospital. The timeline from police on how they were able to arrest him.
And learning about AI, students in the Triangle getting an education on using it properly. What families need to know about keeping their kids safe. It's part of our everyday life now. AI.
100%.
It is crazy. All right, thanks for joining us here on your Thursday morning. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Ken Smith. We're waking up to some Carolina blue skies hanging over the Triangle, which is really good news, but it's cold out there. Let's get back to meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
And not quite as cold as yesterday morning, but still pretty chilly out there. We also have a breeze, which is making it feel cooler. Wind chills dropping to the 30s across the area. Still some lingering cloud cover as well. Here's a view from Zebulon this morning. We have some stubborn clouds with that front passing through, but once it fully passes, we'll switch to that northwest wind, and yeah, it'll feel pretty cool by this afternoon. 39 in Raleigh, 40 in Rocky Mount, 37 in Roxborough, Southern Pines at 36 degrees this morning. This afternoon, we'll reach the 40s across the area. It's going to be hard to warm up thanks to the cooler and drier air quickly working its way in. 46 in Raleigh, 42 Roxborough, 47 in Clinton. Coming up, we'll let you know when to expect maybe a couple of flurries in our far northern spots, and also when to expect temperatures to drop back to the 50s. That's coming up in just a bit. Ken.
All right, Grant, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We continue to stay on top of this breaking news. The Aviation Parkway exit ramp off of I-40 eastbound continues to be shut down this morning as a result of this crash that's in the clearing phase. This is the usual morning congestion on the eastbound lane, so it's not really affecting traffic mainly. But let's give you this ground shot with the help of photographer Charles Bradley. He's telling us right now that this ramp could be closed for a little bit because right now they're having trouble pulling that vehicle out of the tree line. That fire truck just showed up, and you can see the tow truck driver and the tow truck other operators trying to get that vehicle out of that tree line. We'll continue to follow this and let you know what's going on. But if you're headed to the airport this morning, you might want to take I-540 as an alternate route. The other situation we're following on I-40 eastbound is around the Orange County area and the I-85 connector. There was a crash in this particular area, but it's since cleared, but we're still seeing some lingering delays in that area. So Highway 70 might be your best bet. Similarly, in terms of what we're looking at, I-40 eastbound, you're looking at an 11-minute delay. But look at this, Fins and Wake Forest. Give yourself some extra time this morning. You're looking at a 21-minute delay coming in on US 1. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thank you, Ken. This morning, Raleigh police investigating after shots were fired into a mobile home. Officers were called out just before 1:30 a.m. to DeMille Place near Garner Road. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there as officers were on scene investigating. No injuries were reported. A UNC Rex nurse is expected in court today. Brian Alvarez Ortiz is accused of sexually assaulting 2 patients. WRAL's Ali Calabar live at UNC Rex Hospital for us this morning. Ali, police say 2 incidents happened here.
And Michelle, it happened while those patients were sedated. That's according to Raleigh police. Today, Alvarez Ortiz will be in front of a judge. Now, this picture is of Alvarez Ortiz. Arrest warrants showed the alleged assault happened on November 3rd. One of the patients reported it to another nurse on November 19th. Alvarez Ortiz was fired on the 25th, and the NC Nursing Board suspended his license the next day. Raleigh police arrested Alvarez Ortiz yesterday. A statement from UNC Rex reads in part, "We are outraged by the allegations and our hearts are with the patients involved and their families. We take all allegations of inappropriate behavior seriously. In those situations, we conduct our own investigations and cooperate with law enforcement." This individual has been terminated and is no longer employed by the organization. Raleigh police tells the WRAL that it's possible there may have been more patients assaulted by Alvarez Ortiz. If you have been, you can contact UNC Rex on their confidential hotline. That's on WRAL.com. Alvarez Ortiz will be in court today. WRAL will be there. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
New information this morning about an SUV that crashed into the Raleigh apartment complex. Video shows the car on its front end leaning against that building. A fire official says one unit in the building has been deemed unsafe because of the hole the crash left in the wall. 3 people are now out of their homes. Police say they were told the driver swerved to avoid a pedestrian. The driver only suffered minor injuries.
President Donald Trump has endorsed State Senate leader Phil Berger in the GOP primary battle. Berger is taking on Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page. The president made the announcement last night in a Truth Social post. Trump praised both candidates, but ultimately urged Sheriff Page to drop out. Senator Berger has held his seat for the state legislature for 25 years. He is one of the most powerful Republicans here in North Carolina. Last month, Page announced that he was running against him in the March primary. He has served as sheriff in Rockingham County for 27 years. Page says Berger lost touch with the needs of his district.
AI in the classroom this morning. Some students in Wake County will get a lesson in how to properly use the technology for educational purposes. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live at Dillard Drive Middle School this morning. And Kelsey, using AI safely is one of the main topics expected to be discussed.
Yes, Ken, this morning, hundreds of students here at Dillard Drive Magnet Middle School will learn more about AI. You can see some of the parents there at drop-off. And parents, we also looked into what you should know about AI, too. 2,000 students from across Wake County schools and Durham Public Schools will hear a presentation from state leaders about AI. It's designed to ensure students understand how to use it in a safe, age-appropriate way. We spoke with the State Department of Information Technology Secretary Tina Pacone. She says parents should know what AI tools their students are using.
Make sure that you are working with your kids to understand what they're using, know what apps they're on, be able to understand where they are, be able to learn with them, and be able to do it to where you're making sure that it is age appropriate.
And this here is something else for parents to look out for. Make sure that your students are not uploading any photos or personal information into AI software. That presentation here at Dillard Drive Magnet Middle is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
A man is in critical condition. A woman is hurt this morning after that shooting and standoff in Granville County earlier this week. The sheriff's office tells WRAL the suspect, Brad McCurdy, killed himself after an hours-long standoff. WRAL spoke with McCurdy's brother on the phone. He said his brother and the female victim were in a relationship. And in Moore County, police are searching for a shooting suspect this morning. This happened in Southern Pines yesterday at the Brookside Park Apartments on Shaw Avenue. When officers got there, they found a person who was shot. They are expected to be okay. Police say one or more suspects left the scene in a white SUV. Anyone with information is asked to call Southern Pines Police.
A task force created by the president is expected to vote today on the largest overhaul of FEMA in decades. A report from the FEMA Review Council recommends sharply reducing the federal government's role in disaster response. We're talking about cutting the agency's workforce in half. It also proposes states hit a higher bar in order to qualify for federal disaster assistance. That could leave states paying more for damaged recovery. After the council's vote, it will go to the president's desk for review. Also on Capitol Hill, the government's annual defense spending bill is heading to the U.S. Senate after it passed the House last night. It was a largely bipartisan vote. This new bill includes a record $901 billion in military spending. It will provide troops with a pay increase as well. Military support for Ukraine is also included in the bill. The U.S. Senate is expected to pass the bill next week. President Trump says he plans to sign it when it reaches his desk.
Happening today, Swiss drug maker Novartis beginning its expansion in the Triangle. The company is planning to spend more than $770 million on new buildings and renovations to expand drug production. This is happening in Durham and Morrisville. Novartis expects to create 700 jobs by 2030 as part of this deal. Officials estimate the project could grow the state economy by more than $3 billion. For more on the expansion, you can go to WRAL.com later today.
Governor Josh Stein is recognizing North Carolina's Christmas tree farmers ahead of tonight's tree lighting at the state capitol. He hosted the winners of this year's Growers Contest and members of the State Christmas Tree Association. The governor's mansion is also open to the public today through Saturday. That still gives you time to see the Christmas tree and other decorations.
Tense moments at a hearing.
You're putting filth in front of babies.
The local school district accused of ignoring the Parents' Bill of Rights.
Also, reversing course cuts to Medicaid in North Carolina are over for now, while Governor Josh Stein is canceling Medicaid rate cuts he initiated 2 months ago.
It's chilly out there this morning. Wind chill sitting in the 30s across our area, but it could feel very, very cold by the start of next week. I'll let you know when temperatures will drop to the teens. It's coming up.
And here are your winning Powerball numbers: 10, 16, 29, 33, 69. The Powerball is 22. The multiplier is 3. No jackpot winner again last night. Saturday's drawing now worth $1 billion.
We'll take you now to a snowy landscape over Boone. You can see those sidewalks. The camera's moving right now. But you can see the sidewalks are very snow covered, and snow and ice on the roadways as well. Folks have had a little bit of trouble this morning with some of those slick spots. So your head towards the mountains, be mindful of the northern mountains have seen a good bit of snow, so could have some issues traveling there. In the mountains for today, temperatures in the 40s for Asheville, Bryson City, with a 20% chance of precipitation, maybe a rain-snow mix. Snow possible towards Boone, a 40% chance, 27 degrees for the high today, so chilly there. Warmer tomorrow, 38 degrees, a rain-snow mix in Boone, temperatures in the 50s for Asheville, Bryson City tomorrow. You can see that snow lingers around lunchtime today for Boone, and then finally drops off later today. Lots of sunshine for us here today and some drier air. I'll let you know when we'll have some frigid air return to the area. It's coming up. Ken?
All right, Grant, we're seeing on top of the breaking news right here on I-40 eastbound. The Aviation Parkway exit ramp off those I-40 eastbound lanes remains shut down this morning. It's not really impeding traffic here. That's just the usual morning congestion. Here's a live look from the ground with the help of photographer Charles Bradley. You can see apparently the tow truck driver was having trouble pulling that vehicle out of the tree line. They've been there for quite some time. They might be there a little while longer. We're working to get some more information about it, but this ramp remains closed. So if you got to head to the airport this morning, you're coming east, you might want to take I-540 as an alternate route. I'll have another update in about 10 minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Ken. A state Republican lawmaker threatening consequences for Chapel Hill school leaders accused of ignoring the Parents' Bill of Rights. The law bans discussions about sex and gender in the youngest classrooms. A discussion became tense yesterday as lawmakers questioned district leaders. The board chairman called parts of the law discriminatory. It led to a heated hearing that lasted for hours and included shouting, cursing, and literal book throwing.
Is this okay in your guidance?
I'm not aware that book is.
You're the superintendent. You're not aware of what's going on in your school system? You don't know what's printed? It's trash. That's what good that is.
Republican lawmaker Jeff McNeely warned school leaders about consequences they could face if they do not comply with the law. He implied funding could be reduced. School board chair George Griffin said the school district is complying.
Budget cuts are underway for Wake County schools as the board calls for the district's financial outlook uncertain. The school board met yesterday to talk about next year's budget. Wake County schools largely relies on federal and state funding. There's uncertainty because of a lack of a state budget and possible cuts in federal funding as well. This comes at a time when the district expects costs to go up because of inflation, and as it opens a new elementary school, cuts may be needed to make up the difference.
So everyone is feeling the uncertainty and the impact it's going to have. So I will say what I said last year during the budget cycle: if you are looking to add something, be prepared to take away something, because that is where we are, and hopefully things will change.
Board members say they will have to get creative to find solutions, but there are no specifics on that yet. The board says they will resume this conversation at a future work session.
North Carolina Governor Josh Stein is canceling Medicaid rate cuts. The governor said the Department of Health and Human Services will restore rates for hospitals and doctors. 3 million people in the state are insured by Medicaid. However, without a new state budget, the program is short millions of dollars. Doctors who spoke with the governor say cuts would hurt everyone statewide, even people who are not on Medicaid.
Without additional funds, Medicaid will run out of money in the spring, which would be absolutely devastating.
Many practices have faced the difficult possibility of closing their doors or laying off staff, jeopardizing care for all North Carolinians, not just those on Medicaid.
State lawmakers agree Medicaid needs to be funded, but political infighting has derailed budget negotiations.
Michelle, I want to point our viewers' attention to this breaking update that we're getting to the newsroom not too long ago. So we interviewed not long ago a victim of that most recent stabbing on that light rail in Charlotte. Well, it turns out the victim has been arrested for several charges, including assault. Let me just kind of walk you through this a little bit. Mecklenburg County records show that a man who was a victim of that stabbing, again, Kenyon Doby, I believe was his name, he is charged with assault with serious bodily injury, assault on a pregnant woman, assault on a female, domestic violence, and 3 counts of communicating threats. I want to show you his mugshot right here that we have on screen. But the pictures that you just saw, those were photos that we were able to get from his GoFundMe. But we actually interviewed him after this all happened. I just mentioned the GoFundMe. I just checked it just to see where it was. At last check, $102,000 raised for this person. But again, this is all stemming back from some different warrants that were set to be issued back in October. So quite a bit of an update here in regarding this person, Kenyon Doby. But we're going to dig into this a little bit more and try to report it here on WRAL News.
All right, thank you, Chris. Mix 101.5 has wrapped up its fundraiser for kids at Duke Children's Hospital. Yesterday was the second and final day of its 2025 Radiothon. Kyle, Brian, and Sarah showcased incredible stories of hope and healing. This is the 31st year for this event. Mix has raised more than $20 million for the kids at Duke, thanks to the compassion and caring of listeners and sponsors. For more details, you can go to WRALFM.com.
Well, 2 Raleigh natives were honored as heroes yesterday. Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell proclaimed yesterday as Larry Pickett Day. Larry Pickett Sr. and his son Larry Pickett Jr. were honored after they rescued a man trapped in a burning car in New York. This happened back in August. The car crashed into a utility pole and was moments away from bursting into flames when the two pulled the driver out. Larry Pickett Jr. is an Enloe High School graduate. He's enrolled at U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Absolutely amazing work by them. Well, one way to give back this holiday season is through WRAL's annual Coats for the Children campaign. Now through December 31st, we need your help to gather as many coats, hats, and gloves as possible. To find a neighborhood Jiffy Lube drop-off location near you or make a monetary donation, just scan the code on your screen. You can also go to WRAL.com/coats. Help WRAL and the Salvation Army spread warmth and hope this time of year, especially this time of year, because it is so cold outside. Everybody really needs a jacket. Everybody also needs beautiful pictures like this from Jim in Lewisburg. My goodness.
Yes, gorgeous this morning. We still had the lingering cloud cover from a front passing, but very, very beautiful out there.
Stunning.
Temperatures in the 30s this morning, though. So chilly this morning, and then we'll progressively get colder as we head into next week. I'll let you know when to expect that cold air. We'll have a brief warm-up, but temperatures will be frigid to start next week. Again, Jim out of Lewisburg sending this in, those beautiful yellows and reds on the horizon from the sunrise this morning. Thanks so much for sending that into WRAL.com/report it. The front is making its way to the south and east. We'll have a few lingering clouds this morning, but those will continue to clear throughout the course of today, and it will still be on the cool side today. With that front passing, cooler and drier air works its way behind the front out of the northwest. A bit breezy at times this morning, not as breezy as yesterday. We had a 39-mile-per-hour wind gust at Raleigh-Durham. Not that breezy, but still a little bit breezy this morning. 46 degrees by this afternoon. Then by this evening, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. And will drop even cooler as we head into our Friday morning. Durham Christmas Parade on Saturday, temperatures in the 40s, and then we'll eventually make it to the 50s in the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, though, in the morning, so enjoy that. And then another strong cold front passes into the end of the weekend. That's going to bring a quick Arctic blast to the area. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s for highs, teens and 20s for lows. Check this out. Starting the day on Monday, 18 in Raleigh, 14 in Roxborough, 13 in Roanoke Rapids. You're going to want multiple layers that morning, and with that, of breezes as well. So wind chills likely sitting in the single digits. Already you can see the lingering cloud cover there that will slowly clear throughout the day. Temperatures in the 30s right now, but eventually we'll make it to the mid 40s this afternoon. Mid to upper 40s on Friday, a couple of flurries in our far northern spots. And then by Saturday, we'll have plenty of sunshine throughout the day. Highs in the mid 50s, so a warmer day then down to the mid 40s Sunday, then tumbling down to the teens as we head into our Monday morning. Highs only making it to the mid to upper 30s. Ken.
All right, Grant, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. That situation in I-40 eastbound near the Aviation Parkway. The exit ramp to Aviation Parkway off of I-40 eastbound still remains shut down this morning. It's not impeding traffic on the eastbound lanes. That's just the usual morning congestion. Here's a look from the ground with the help of photographer Charles Bradley. You can see the tow truck operator trying to get that car onto the tow truck. They were having trouble pulling it out of the tree line right now, but right now you see they're making some headway. So that ramp should be closed for another 20, 30 minutes or so. If you're heading to the airport, you might want to use I-540 as an alternate route. A couple of things happening in West Raleigh. There's a crash right there on Wade Avenue, not far from Reedy Creek, and also Blue Ridge and Western Boulevard. Both not really causing any major issues in West Raleigh, but be mindful of the police activity. That's the usual morning congestion that we see this time of the morning.
All right, thank you, Ken. Helping those in need, how WRAL viewers stepped up to help a Lewisburg family just in time for the holidays. And fire recovery, we are getting our first look inside the Raleigh Convention Center after the roof was damaged in a fire.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Ooh, it's chilly out there. Meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Most of us in the 30s.
That's right. Still chilly this morning. Wind chills in the low 30s for many of our northern spots because of the breezes out of the northwest behind this cold front. This afternoon will only reach the 40s. We'll see plenty of sunshine throughout the day with that drier and cooler air settling in. An extra cloud cover overnight tonight and into early Friday. Could see a couple of flurries in our northern spots. I'll let you know when to expect that on Futurecast. And then frigid air to start next week. I'll let you know when temperatures drop to the single digits for our wind chills. It's coming up.
All right, Grant, we're staying on top of the situation right there on I-40 in the eastbound lanes. You can see right now the tow truck and the exit ramp on I-40 Aviation Parkway still remains shut down. Here's a live look with the help of photographer Charles Bradley. The tow truck driver has been having real trouble pulling this car out of the tree line. Finally, it got it down, back up on its wheels, but that intersection still remains, that ramp, I should say, still remains closed. If you're heading to the airport on the I-40 eastbound, you should take I-540 as an alternate route. I have another update at the bottom of the hour over on Fox 50.
All right, thank you very much, Ken. And a nurse is in jail this morning accused of sexually assaulting two patients. Police say this happened at UNC Rex last month. Officers have arrested and charged Brian Alvarez Ortiz. He's expected to appear in court later today. Police are also asking any possible additional victims to come forward. Happening today, Swiss drug maker Novartis beginning its expansion in the Triangle. The company is planning to spend more than $770 million on new buildings and renovations to expand drug production. This is happening in Durham and Morrisville. Next on Fox 50, an opportunity for students to learn about AI safety. And coming up on Today, the stars of Chess on Broadway in Studio 1A.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Cooler and drier with highs only making it to the 40s today. Still cool tomorrow, but then a brief warm up before a big cool down. I'll let you know when frigid air arrives to the region.
Plus, a nurse facing charges.
During the course of the follow-up investigation, Raleigh Police Department detectives identified another victim associated with the case.
A UNC Rex nurse accused of sexually assaulting at least two patients. The call from police for more potential victims to step forward.
And AI safety lessons. Today, students will get important information on using artificial intelligence responsibly. What you and your child need to know to stay safe while using that technology. So glad you're with us here at 8:30. Got a lot to share with you. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yes, first we're going to share with you the weather because another cold day on tap. Yesterday, Grant, it was a little bit warmer. Went outside. You didn't really need the heavy jacket yesterday, but the cold's coming back.
That's right. With a cold front passing this morning, it'll be cooler and drier today. Looking back at Zebulon, looked at this during the first half hour as well. And now you're not seeing any cloud cover there. With that front passing, it's taking the cloud cover with it. We won't see a lot of that today. Well, a lot of sunshine throughout the day behind the cold front. 39 in Raleigh, 36 in Southern Pines this morning, 37 in Roxborough. So it is on the chilly side this morning. Make sure you have some 1 or 2 layers stepping out the door. But this is still warmer than where we were at yesterday. 7 degrees warmer in Raleigh, 7 degrees warmer in Fayetteville as well. That's because as that front passed, we had some extra cloud cover. We had less cooling overnight this past night. We will see more cooling overnight tonight. And with that, maybe a couple of flurries in our northern spots. I'll let you know when to expect those flurries coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Grant, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're staying on top of this breaking news. The Aviation Parkway exit ramp off of I-40 eastbound still remains shut down this morning as a result of a crash that's right now in the clearing phase. It's not really impeding traffic. That's just the usual morning congestion on I-40 eastbound. Here's a live look of that scene from the ground with the help of photographer Charles Bradley. You can see the tow truck is finally getting that vehicle out of that tree line and onto that tow truck right now. They're having trouble with it, and that's why they're still there up until now. We're ready to get some more information about this, and as soon as we get it, we'll let you know exactly what's going on. But if you're getting to the airport, because that's an airport exit route, you would need to take I-540 as an alternate route to RDU International right now. Over in West Raleigh, we've got a crash on Wade Avenue, not far from the I-40 interchange. You can see the huge congestion is causing in that particular area, but that's the usual morning congestion added to that vehicle crash as well. Southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road, the westbound lanes coming toward us, flowing at a steady clip, albeit a slow, steady clip. But really the troubled spots are that I-40 eastbound. You're coming in at 9 minutes right now. And offense in Wake Forest, you're looking at a 10-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest this morning. You're getting ready to head into the Cartoonist and on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thank you, Ken. This morning, Raleigh police investigating shots fired into a mobile home. Officers were called just before 1:30 this morning to DeMille Place near Garner Road. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there as officers were on scene investigating. No injuries were reported. Today, we'll learn more about a UNC Rex nurse accused of sexually assaulting at least 2 patients. WRAL's Ali Calabar is outside of the hospital for us this morning. Ali, that nurse is expected in court later today. What else do we know about this?
Michelle, Brian Alvarez Ortiz will be going in front of a judge later this afternoon, and Raleigh police say he's facing multiple charges. He's accused of sexually assaulting at least 2 patients while they were sedated here at UNC Rex Hospital. This is a picture of Alvarez Ortiz. Arrest warrants show the alleged assault happened on November 3rd. One of the patients reported it to another nurse on November 19th. Alvarez Ortiz was fired on the 25th, and the NC Nursing Board suspended his license the next day. Raleigh police arrested Alvarez Ortiz yesterday. A statement from UNC Rex reads in part, "We are outraged by the allegations and our hearts are with the patients involved and their families. We take all allegations of inappropriate behavior seriously. In those situations, we conduct our own investigations and cooperate with law enforcement." This individual has been terminated and is no longer employed by the organization, end quote. Raleigh police tell WRAL it's possible he may have assaulted more patients.
We believe you. We would like you to, if you feel comfortable, come forward. We have support resources for you, and we want to do so in the most trauma-informed way.
Raleigh police and UNC Rex is asking anyone who may have been assaulted by Alvarez Ortiz to contact their confidential reporting line. You can find that on WRAL.com. Alvarez Ortiz is being held without bond. He'll appear in court later today, and WRAL will be there. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
President Trump is throwing his support behind North Carolina Senate leader Phil Berger in the race for state Senate. Berger faces a primary challenge for the seat from Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page. Now, Trump gave his endorsement to Berger in a post to Truth Social last night. It comes months before the March primary, of course. The president says both candidates are outstanding men, but Berger has his complete and total endorsement for re-election, and he will never let you down. That's a quote from President Trump's Truth Social post. Now, about Sam Page, he said, Sam Page is great. I really want him to come work for us in Washington, D.C., rather than further considering a run against Senator Berger. WRAL NC Capitol reporter Paul Spade says this is not the first time a Republican has tried to get Page to pull out of the race.
Senator Amy Galey, a top Republican in the state Senate, came to his house on the eve of election filing on November 30th and left him a letter begging him not to run. And in his eyes, that's a sign that he very well could win this race.
Since the president's announcement, Senator Berger posted a thank you to President Trump. He says he's honored to receive the endorsement. Now, Page says he plans to stay in the race and vows to defeat Berger. You can read more about this story on our website, WRAL.com, or in the WRAL News app. Well, today, some students in Wake County will get a lesson in how to use AI technology responsibly. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live outside Dillard Drive Magnet this morning. And Kelsey, schools all across the Triangle are working to make sure kids are staying safe.
Yes, Ken, in the next 20 minutes or so, students here at Dillard Drive Magnet Middle will be able to go through a presentation where they can learn more about AI. And parents, we dug into how you can learn more about AI too. 2,000 students from across Wake County schools and Durham Public Schools will hear a presentation from state leaders about AI. It's designed to ensure students understand how to use it in a safe, age-appropriate way. We spoke with the State Department of Information Technology Secretary Tina Pacone. She says parents should know what AI tools their students are using.
You're making sure that when they enter anything into an app, that it is what it should be, and it's not any of their personal identifying information. We want to make sure that there is safety around it. It's just like with any technology. Once it's out there, there is no sometimes putting it back.
And here are some key takeaways that parents need to know about. Make sure your child does not upload any photos or personal information into AI software. It's also good for you to learn how to use AI yourself so you can monitor what apps your kids are using. That presentation is scheduled to start here at Dillard Drive Middle at 9 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
New information this morning about an SUV that crashed into a Raleigh apartment complex. The WRAL breaking news tracker was at the scene last night on Gorman Street and Graduate Lane. Video shows the car on its front end leaning against the building. A fire official says one unit in the building has been deemed unsafe because of the hole the crash left in the wall. 3 people are also out of their homes. Police say they were told the driver swerved to avoid a pedestrian. That driver only had minor injuries. Today, drug maker Novartis will break ground on a new facility set to bring hundreds of jobs to the Triangle. The Swiss company plans to spend more than $770 million on new buildings and renovations to expand drug production. This would happen in Durham and Morrisville. Novartis expects to create 700 jobs by 2030 as part of the deal. Officials estimate the project could grow the state economy by more than $3 billion. WRAL NC Capitol reporter Jack Hagel explains why the company chose to expand here.
This area is home to a well-educated workforce that will do really well in advanced manufacturing settings. There's also a number of biopharmaceutical manufacturers already here, so there's a good ecosystem. And they say that the state is a really great place to do business.
The Triangle expansion is just a small part of Novartis' broader plans. Overall, the company wants to spend $23 billion on U.S. manufacturing.
Well, today, seniors from all across Wake County will get to experience a special holiday celebration. It's the 68th year for the beloved Golden Years celebration. Capitol Broadcasting Company partners with the city of Raleigh to bring holiday cheer to people 50 and up. They can enjoy live entertainment, a meal, vendor booths, raffles, and a festive atmosphere. It starts around 10 o'clock this morning at Mimandi Concert Hall. Brian Schrader, Renee Chu, and I will be hosting that event. Again, we're looking forward to it. We might even cut a rug here and there. So listen, the Powerball jackpot now $1 billion. No one topped won the top prize last night. Now it's $1 billion for only the 7th time ever. Last night numbers right there on your screen: 10, 16, 29, 33, 69. The Powerball was 22, the multiplier 3. You can watch the next drawing Saturday night right before our 11 o'clock news on WRAL.
Still to come, stepping in to help, a heartbreaking story that sparked an incredible act of kindness. We'll show you what happened after 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur exposed a contractor who took thousands from a Lewisburg couple.
Heading to break, we want to take you outside. Cool days ahead as we look live right now at Southern Pines. Around 36 degrees right there now, but it doesn't matter for golfers. Don't get out in any weather. Meteorologist Grant Skinner will show us the next time we will see highs in the 50s.
Wind chills still in the 30s across the area, so you definitely still want to have those layers stepping out the door. 35 for the wind chill in Raleigh, 34 in Roxborough, 36 in Goldsboro. So yeah, a little bit on the frigid side this morning. Will be more frigid though next week, and I'll talk more about that coming up in a little bit. Wind gusts at 9 a.m. around 10 to 20 miles per hour across the area. They'll finally calm down later today. But you can see through 1:30, still around 15 to 20 miles per hour with lots of sunshine. And then later this evening, finally starting to calm down, and then more cloud cover overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning with some flurries possible in our northern spots. I'll time out when to expect them and who could see those flurries coming up in just a little bit. Ken?
All right, Grant, I got some good news to report updating that situation there on I-40 eastbound at Aviation Parkway exit. That ramp just opened in the last 5 minutes, so that crashed off to the side of the road right now. Again, this is not impeding traffic whatsoever. This is just the usual morning congestion that we see in those eastbound lanes coming into the Raleigh-Wade County area. Similarly, boy, things have gotten a lot better in that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. The traffic in the westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. So right now, you're just looking at a 3-minute delay because there's a little bit of a slowdown around Gorman Street right now. Another update in less than 10 minutes.
It's a 5 on Your Side success story right in time for the holidays. Keely Arthur shares how her story in September convinced viewers to step up and help a Lewisburg family in need.
We love a heartwarming 5 on Your Side story, and this one centers on this house. Now, the owner, Bill Harris, has ALS, and his wife has stage 4 breast cancer. This home has been in the Harris family for generations, and the Harrises hope to have it restored before their conditions worsened. They paid a contractor $10,000, but got nothing in return. Well, after our story aired, a group of WRAL one-day painting franchise owners stepped in to help.
Given the circumstance that the family is in addition to being, done dirty by that other contractor, again, it was just something that to us seemed like a no-brainer. We're in a position to help. Why wouldn't we help?
Thank you so much for everything you guys have done.
Of
we couldn't have done it without you.
The contractors donated $15,000 worth of work to make the house look like this. Coming up tonight at 6, I'm going to speak with them a little bit more, talk to the family they helped, and I also speak with the contractor who didn't do any of the work, his excuse and reasoning coming up. Keely Arthur, 5 on Your Side.
So happy for that family.
Absolutely.
My goodness. All right, honoring a broadcasting legend.
And the return of 2 iconic characters to the big screen. Here's what's trending. So, 2 Hunger Games stars are reprising their roles in the newest prequel movie. Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson are returning as Katniss Everdeen and Peter Malark. The 2 were the main stars of the original series of movies that happened back in 2012 to 2015. I can't believe it's been that long.
I know. I thought the same thing. The new movie, Sunrise on the Reaping, is expected to hit theaters in November of next year.
Big fan of that series.
Yeah. All right, ESPN paying tribute to the late Stuart Scott. The network's newest 30 for 30 special titled Booyah debuted last night. The documentary explores Scott's groundbreaking career. He was a UNC grad and a former WRAL reporter.
Yeah, he worked here back in the 1980s, or 1988 to 1990. Of course, he passed away back in 2015 after a years-long battle with cancer. Just a really down-to-earth and very kind
Salt of the earth guy.
Met him a couple of times.
Yeah, one of my friends, he was her mentor, and she speaks so highly of him and says, you know, she wishes he was still here.
Gone too soon.
Yes.
Well, coming up, Time Magazine's Person of the Year, the architects of AI. In its announcement, Time said the artificial intelligence offers a full potential, and it roared into view when it became clear that there will be no turning back. This is Time's 99th edition of the Person of the Year.
I don't think
publication.
anybody's surprised.
No, not at
AI.
all.
It's everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Change all up.
All right, well, the now fired University of Michigan head football coach is in jail this morning for an investigation into potential charges. Sharon Moore was dismissed from the Wolverines program yesterday. The school said it found credible evidence that he was engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. They fired him immediately. Moore took over for Jim Harbaugh back in 2024 after spending 6 years on the Wolverines offensive coaching staff. Biff Poggi has been named interim head football coach, effective immediately. Now, it's not clear what potential charges Moore could be facing or if they are related to his firing.
And we're getting our first look inside the Raleigh Convention Center after a fire burned through its roof. Work is happening now to fix the water damage. There's still a lot of work to be done, though, before the convention center can reopen. That includes installing new carpet, drywall, and furniture. Management for the facility hopes it can reopen in time for events scheduled for next month.
Point your attention to this video right here in the WRAL Live Center. Do you see all this? This is some of the rivers that are starting to sort of overflow, essentially because of the heavy rainfall, relentless really, that's been happening in Washington State. It is at such a level that forecasters are calling it, quote, the potential for catastrophic flooding, their words. As many as 100,000 people in Washington are facing potential evacuations as that flood danger rises. Several rivers in Washington hit major flood stages. And so what we'll do is we'll keep our eye on the situation out there. We keep seeing new images. There were some live video feeds that were available. They have since been left. But yeah, this is definitely a situation that seems to be escalating out in Washington State.
My goodness. Happening now, we're standing in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, meteorologist Grant Skin. I lived in the Pacific Northwest for a couple of years. I've never seen anything like that, though.
Yeah, tremendous amount of rain. And so we always encourage people to turn around, don't drown. It can become very dangerous very quickly. And you can underestimate the power of water. You don't want to underestimate it because it can sweep away quickly.
Different scenario around here, though.
Yes, exactly. Beautiful views this morning. We have a cold front that passed through this morning. We still had some lingering cloud cover over towards Franklin County. Calandra sent this in out of Franklin County this morning. Some beautiful colors there, those deep oranges and yellows from the sunrise this morning. We still had some lingering clouds. They're clearing up. Something new that we're tracking is we're trending even cooler for the start of next week, so watching that closely. Highs in the 40s today, though, with breezy conditions. Our next thing we're tracking is a few flurries in our northern spots into tomorrow morning. Also a chilly start to our Friday morning as well. Again, still some lingering clouds from RDU, but it's not going to be overwhelming in terms of the cloud cover throughout the day today. It'll clear up for a little bit, maybe a few clouds this afternoon, but should be a very, very pleasant view out there, at least. It's going to be chilly, but a pleasant view. 30s and 40s right now, 39 in Raleigh, 40 in Rocky Mount, 38 in Fayetteville, 40 in South Hill this morning. And you can see with Futurecast, again, not a whole lot of cloud cover throughout the day. This is around lunchtime. You can see a few clouds in our northwestern spots, but it's really not overwhelming in terms of the cloud cover. Then late today, clouds start to build back into the area. And watching tomorrow morning, you can see a few flurries skirting by our northern spots, maybe a couple more flurries to the south as well. And this is mainly for the triangle and areas northward. A couple of flurries possible. Not expecting much in the way of accumulation for those northern spots up towards South Hill, but north, closer to West Virginia, is where they'll see a better chance for some accumulation and even cooler temperatures. Again, more flurries possible through around 10 a.m. and then we'll finally clear out by the afternoon on Friday. So most places will stay cold and dry, but a few flurries for our northern spots. A 20% chance tomorrow morning. We'll have some lingering cloud cover. Warmer Saturday with highs back in the 50s, then a stronger cold front on Sunday, and then we really tumble into the start of the coming week. 18 degrees for our low Monday morning, 39 for the high on Monday. Lots of sunshine, but it's going to be a very, very cold start to the week.
Thank you, Grant. And before we go to break, here are your winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic next.